Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. This is Tom and Kitty. How's everybody doing? Well, I think we're gonna dive in. We'll give it just a few more minutes, but we're gonna dive in a little early. TOS and DistroTube will be on at 9:30. I will probably, unfortunately, overlap their show a little bit, but we want to try and wrap this up so we can jump on over there tonight. So let's go ahead, though, and see who's on. Of course, we have two fairly long segments, so I'm not sure how quick we're going to be, but we'll give it a try. All right, Quint Berkeley, hello there. How's it going, man? We miss you on Thursdays, but hey, summer happens, right? Steven Anderson, hello there, Mr. Anderson. Q and Fiend, greetings. Bob the Hopper, hello. Boing, you've hopped. Steven Anderson is building a computer. Nice. Very cool, very cool. The kitty has been installed via Fedora. Thumbs up, everyone, for the cat. Thumbs up for the cat. Yu-Gi-Oh! How's it going there, Ricky? All right. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get jumping in. Wow, man. Not a lot of folks on tonight. What is it? August and summer break and all this other stuff, huh? All right. That's all good. We got 10 of you. The news shall go on. Hello, Ben. Greetings to you as well. All right, let's go ahead and... What am I doing, actually? PIA as my spot. All right, what's an Amazon Ring? Oh, that beautiful little Amazon smart doorbell. Yeah, we'll talk all about that. And hello, Saddle Ridge. How's it going there? Did you get your books yet, Saddle Ridge? I think you probably, should have received them. If not, I'll check the tracking numbers. All right, let's go ahead and jump on over, and we will... what's wrong with Microsoft? Historical, please don't answer. We'll be here till time stops. All right, yeah, we'll go ahead and jump on into the news. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the privacy edition on Switch to Linux. And today we are highlighting the affiliate link for private internet access. Once again, if you are in need of a VPN, some of you are in need of one, some of you may not be, but if you are in need of one or you want a good, secure way to jump country regions or block advertisers or things like that, then private internet access is a good US-based system. And using my affiliate link, you can get a year of it for $40 at this point in time. Oh, they got rid of the massive 2-year one, but that's all right. Actually, $40 for 1 year is still an excellent deal. That's actually, I think that's actually slightly cheaper than it was. I think it was $87 for 2 years. So that's kind of cool. So you can use my affiliate link, tlm.li/PIA. You can also check out my affiliates page on switchlinks.com. I think it's switchlinks.com/affiliates. But with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on into the privacy news. All right, so this was interesting here. So Europe's top court basically, we all know when we talk about this that Facebook, whether or not you have a Facebook account, tracks you across the internet using the like buttons. In fact, there's probably one on this page somewhere. I don't know. This is TechCrunch. They have this infinite scrolly thing, which if the United States government has their way, that will be illegal soon too. But anyway, websites that have Facebook share links, things like that, are always scooping up this data. This is why the only way around it is to block Facebook on the computer or the network level. It's the only way to prevent them from tracking you around. But they're not the only bad offender. Pretty much anything that will load on your site could feasibly be passing data out to a company. And so while this ruling specifically targets the Facebook like button, it does apply to any plugins in the European Union. It's like they don't know how the internet works over there or something. I don't know. But the idea is that if you have a plugin on your website that shares data with any third party, you as the website owner, not the third party, is actually the one responsible for any data that is collected, stored, leaked, or otherwise violates European law. Very fascinating read here about, the background has to do with the Facebook tracking links and things like that. Like I said, this primarily targets Facebook, but there's other places as well. Now, if you are new to the weekly news roundup and the privacy edition, we start from the least frightening all the way down, and by the end, we'll all be like biting our nails and, hunkering down in the corner somewhere. This is neat. Anyone use Netflix out there? Well, Netflix apparently tests tracking of your physical activity to improve video quality. I don't know. Come on. I'm a skeptic. They're really tracking this stuff to see, is it really during the commercial breaks you pick up and walk to the refrigerator or the counter or cupboard to pick up more potato chips and soda pops or something. No, what they said is that they put this in. It was an experimental thing that was crammed into an update. This is why I don't auto-update stuff, people. Crammed into an update, and it will measure all of your gyroscopes. And what they said is they wanted to see how is Netflix behaving while physical activity, as in when you're walking. Who's watching a movie while you're running? Of course, I read books when I walk, so I can't bash that down too much. But nevertheless, so they put this information here, and some people were questioning this going, hey, Netflix, why does your Android app want physical activity data? Guys, you always want to look at the applications you're installing on your devices. Look at those permissions. If you're playing a game that wants access to your contact list, there's something shady going on. Okay, Netflix is here to watch movies. Why do they need your physical activity again? Well, that's what the security researcher wanted to know, so you can actually allow it or deny it, so you can actually set the permissions if you want. Hard fork. There you go. So they responded back. So here is their PR person talking. How do we know? Because a PR person is moving their lips. All right. We are continually testing ways to give our members a better experience. This was part of a test to see how we can improve video playback quality when a member is on the go. Only some accounts are in the test, and we currently don't have plans to roll it out. So some people just randomly had this thing attached to their Netflix app. Huh. Interesting. So it had to be embedded in the code. Is the code executing randomly? Is the code just displaying the trick randomly? There's a lot of questions about this. And it's very interesting, of course. If you just turn off all these proximity sensors, pretty much everything on your phone, cool. That's okay. Whatever. Oh, yes. Google, Apple announced this too, but Google will pause listening to the EU voice recordings while regulators investigate. Just to the EU one. So, guys, yes, it did come out. Of course, it came out a few weeks back that Amazon Alexa, hey, Alexa, order unicorn meat, confirm. That your Alexa was, shipping out sound bites to go out to third-party people in some third world countries and pay them a few pennies a day to analyze what you're saying as if they could even understand the culture anyway. Last week, I think it was, or maybe 2 weeks ago, we reported on Apple was doing the same thing. Now, of course, we've known Google's been doing it. So now here Google is setting up and it's like, well, over there in the European Union where people make a big deal about us, we're not going to be listening to your stuff anymore. The rest of y'all are screwed. People, get these smart speakers out of your house! They're listening to what you're doing. They're taking your sound bites. They're passing them to third world people. They're sitting down there listening to your discussions. They're hearing all the things you're doing. Stop with the smart speakers, people. Stop with the smart speakers. There's no use for these stupid things, all right? So anyway, Google, because of the EU investigation, and yeah, EU's already been, they've already taken, a few days' income already this week, so they didn't want to, risk any more. So, all right, EU, well, you guys do your investigation. We're not going to go ahead and listen to your stuff anymore. That's all right with us. All right, why not? Sure, why not? And so, Google, they're not listening. If you're over there in EU, they're not listening to your conversations anymore. The rest of y'all, wake up, unplug these stupid things, go out, play some baseball with them, whatever else. Oh boy, this is exciting. Facial recognition tech comes to schools and summer camps. Who sends their kids out to summer camps? Remember, you go out and send your kids out to summer camps. As Christians, we send them out to VBSs and, they got the day camps, you got the whole week-long camps. It's a great time. Well, now this company called... Waldo, okay? The idea, of course, is where's my kid? You know, people looking through all these summer camp pictures that they get, where's my kid? Is my kid really here? I mean, come on. So now this company called Waldo comes up. Where's Waldo? You know, so it brings up this company called Waldo comes up, and now they're selling the software. Now, there's two payment options. The one of those is that the camp can pay Waldo for, or the other is when the parent goes in and drops off their kid, they have the option to pay Waldo, which is either $1 or $2 per child per day. And so with this, what happens is the people that are going around snapping photos of all the kids having a good time uploads the photos to a server where the parent has sent a reference photo into Waldo, say, where's my Waldo at, yo? And then the company comes down and they go in and and now they will have text messages or a dashboard where they can see the photos that just feature their kids based on the facial recognition AI technology. I know this is Wall Street Journal. Fortunately, I have a friend with a subscription Wall Street Journal, so he sent me the PDF of the article, and I thought this was a very well-written article. But the concern is, hey, now we're doing facial ID data recognition on kids, and of course, we're not sharing your data. We're deleting the stuff if it's not applicable or when the parent says to. Guys, how long is it going to be before their backup data are hacked? They got a leaky S3 bucket. They got all sorts of stuff going on. I mean, guys, we don't need this kind of stuff. Now, schools wanted to start rolling this out, so other facial recognitions wanted to use schools. In some cases, hey, is there somebody on campus that's not supposed to be here? So the only potential positive I saw for any of this in this article was that, you know, a school could maintain an individual database of people. Maybe you have a child abuse situation and the grandparents are crazy and keep on wanting to come to the school to pick the kids up. The photo of the grandparents that aren't allowed in the school are passed on to the school district, and they come anywhere near the school, the office and security is immediately alerted to the presence of a person who's not allowed near the school. I get that understanding. The problem is that these things are constantly grabbing the data. So if you wanted to implement something like this, all of the processing must be done on premise, and none of the children photos can be uploaded, stored anywhere else. If that's the way you're implementing it, I'm probably okay with a system like that. But anything that requires any degree of cloud processing, this is an issue and we need to not do. All right, but I mean, this idea of let's send our kids out and get everyone all used to facial recognition, this stuff is permeating our society, people, and we got to stop with this facial recognition. Now, fortunately, one of the schools that was kind of first on the list of wanting this was up in New York, but the New York politicians backed up and said no, and they barred the school from using it until a thorough investigation is done. So kudos to you, New York, because you're actually keeping an eye out for the kids. What about the rest of us, you know? So it was a very fascinating read. Definitely check that article out. And if you have an Amazon, a Wall Street Journal subscription, you can read that. I have the article linked there. All right. Oh boy, on to our feature for the day. Amazon told police that it has partnered with 200 law enforcement agencies. It's like, you didn't understand, like, I wonder if they actually got that title right or wrong. Because it's like Amazon told the police at partner. Wait, what? No, let me tell you what's going on here. What's going on is that Amazon's part of their deal to try and get these Ring doorbells. So the Ring doorbell is this smart doorbell perpetually connected to your Wi-Fi that has a camera on it and basically takes all those images and stores them on an Amazon cloud. And the idea is with these smart doorbells, of course, there's an app and someone comes in, rings your door, you can talk to them through the app and blah, blah, blah. Well, part of Amazon's deal to sell these is to actually go out to the law enforcement agencies in town and get them to start promoting Ring. And I didn't include there was another article here, but Amazon's actually giving the police the posts that can be used in their social media accounts or their press releases. And the idea is that the police have their own special affiliate link. And any time that the police affiliate link is used to sell a door a Ring door product, the police are getting a commission they're not getting money back, but they're getting money toward getting their own rings. And then it gets worse because all of these rings are all tied together in a background deal with law enforcement, that any law enforcement agency involved in this gets an entire map network of every house in their jurisdiction that has a Ring doorbell. Surveillance state! Big Brother is now actually watching! You got a doorbell! Always collecting feed on an Amazon server, and the police know where that is. Now, can they get in there and view that data? Probably. Are they allowed without a warrant or your permission? No. Is that going to stop them? Probably not. People, stop putting this crap on your house. Especially when the police are coming down. Dude, they're making a giant network of these things. The police know where all of them are. In the entire jurisdiction. This is insanity. This is insanity. Now, there's a neighborhood version of this that you can get as well. It's not quite as robust. So here's actually some of the information. Ring user customers. Portal side is only on the desktop. Phone app coming soon. So it's called Portal, by the way. That's exciting. So Ring did not respond to their comments. No kidding. Are you really executing police state? No comment. No comment. No comment. But we take security seriously. We only ship off every third recording to some third world sweatshop somewhere to analyze the data. Yeah, we believe you, Amazon. We believe you. Full disclosure, use my Amazon link up there if you want to buy something. I mean, I'm telling you. Yeah, there is a neighborhood watch app, but let's actually look at some of this here. At least 200 law enforcement agencies around the country have entered into partnerships with Amazon's home surveillance company Ring, according to an email obtained by Motherboard via a public record request. Ring has never disclosed the exact number of partnerships it maintains with law enforcement. However, the company's partnered with at least 200 law enforcement agencies, according to notes taken by a police officer during a Ring webinar, which he emailed to himself in April. It's probable the number of partnerships has changed since the day the email was sent. The officer sent the email, told Motherboard that the email was a transcribed version of the handwritten notes that he took during a team webinar with Ring representatives on April 9th. Additional emails obtained by Motherboard indicate that the webinar trained officers on how to use the law enforcement neighborhood portal. The portal allows local police to see a map with the approximate locations of all Ring cameras in a neighborhood and request footage directly from the camera owners. Owners need to consent, but police do not need a warrant to ask for footage. All right, the email obtained was sent by a Waynesboro, Virginia police chief. Anyone out there in Waynesboro? In an email subject line, neighbors by Ring notes. All right. So, yeah, this is kind of creepy. This is literally Big Brother is actually now watching. So we have officially entered 1984 territory. Are you comforted? Hey, man, peace is war. What do you think? War is peace. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Alrighty. Let's see. Actually blew away my Gen 2 install. No! Yes, they arrived. All right. Wonder what is going on with YouTube sometimes. Yep. Making progress one way or the other. Yep. Hello. All hail Caesar. How's it going there, Caesar? Not surprised I got a Netflix out on YouTube. Yep. All right, biting my nails. I'm already eating popcorn. Yep. All right. Personally, I figured that anyone who's on the web these days should know that you're being watched. See, not necessarily, and it doesn't have to be that way, nor should it be. Don't use Facebook. When you take an account, you're hooked, really. Okay, but here's the problem, Leo, is that it does not matter if you have a Facebook account or not. They are collecting a ton of data on you either way. Number one, they collect your data when your friend who does use Facebook uploads your phone number with your name attached to it to the contacts list. Number two, they're collecting it when your friend who uploads a photo of all you guys hanging out to Facebook and tags you in it. They're building a shadow profile, and then every single time that you have a web page that hits the internet that has a Facebook share button or like button on it, even if you do not have an account, there is a cookie stored that tracks you across the internet. And they can figure out who is who based upon what's in there. So it's not just a matter of having a Facebook account or not. It's a matter of a lot of other things as well. Throw it in their face and say, I don't care. Just say, I don't. Hello, Rosemary. How's it going there? No Netflix for you. Yeah, a lot of people getting rid of it with the latest. I mean, yeah, the number of shows are going way, way down, and the number of dollars they're wanting is going way, way up, you know. Alexa, when you buy one, you're stupid. Yeah. Or unicorn meat, you know it's coming from Scotland. There you go. That's right. You guys didn't know. Unicorn is the unofficial animal of Scotland, right? All right. Hey, Alexa, go take a long walk off shore pier. There you go. Sad truth is there are more smart microphones than smart speakers. Yep. Yep. Don't burn the cat. I don't know where the cat is. If I want my sister to listen, I'll use a mic. Yep. Where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? Better I do it. Waldo, where's Weirdo? There you go. Oh. Is Waldo an AI? Yeah, it's a facial recognition thing. I don't know if it's an AI. I don't think it's an AI, but, you know. AI tech needs to stop. Needs to stop its useless garbage and needs to burn. Yep. 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 I think the creator, where's Waldo, soon will be seeking compensation and registered trademark. Yeah. Now, guys, how do you expect Big Brother to come to completion without these wonderful things? Of course. Oh, what makes you think I'm not screaming already? All right. Hello, Skybear. Greetings to you. Bring back ethics into the corrupted country. Yeah, what ethics? Whose ethics? There's the problem. All right, one ring to rule them all. The law enforcement has their one ring to rule them all. Two-alarm fire, two-alarm fire. Hello, Anarita. Greetings, greetings. At this point, STL, I'm sure that if you met face-to-face, I'd recognize you. Maybe not culturally, but eye-to-eye in some way. Reminds me seen in a 1984 movie. Yep. Not that I can't see the benefits of having law enforcement having access to said doorbell feed data, but I can also see how it can be abused. Yep. Just needs to an opt-out for that option. That muggles be aware. Yep. Old-fashioned like the old doorbell. Yep, I do too. Amazon has been dead for me for a few years. I wouldn't buy a toilet from that crap company. The best thing that can happen to Amazon is go bankrupt and cease to exist. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't really see that happening, which is unfortunate. Finally caught you live. Why, thank you for that super chat, Analog. Always appreciate that, my friend. Glad you were able to make the live show. All right. We removed our doorbell at my house. My dad removed it. Yeah, exactly who needs these tracking devices? I don't know. Law enforcement was more transparent about this, I would have less of a problem. That's a good point. You know, I mean, where's the law enforcement saying, hey, guys, we're partnering with Ring? Does anyone actually know this before a leaked email showed up? I have something for Big Brother. Twin birds. yeah. That's two of these little things with a middle one sticking out a little bit, you know. Never get a Ring or any other IoT device that runs proprietary software. Yep. We have a Ring doorbell at our place. The battery dies all the time. The video is terrible. Stay away from Ring. Yeah. Just take it out. Just like, we're getting rid of this thing. Put the masking tape over the camera. Logged back into Facebook the other day and locked down my privacy settings on the personal wall, not posting anything. There you go. Unicorn is the official animal. I thought it was the unofficial. Don't they have two in Scotland, I believe? Let me know. Inquiring minds want to know. I thought it was unofficial, but I could be wrong. No. If Pearson wants to send me a Librem phone, I will definitely do a review of it and test it out, but I don't pay that much money for phones. If they would like to send me one, I will give it a very good, I'll give it a very honest review. I don't know if it's going to be good or not. Not sure. Okay. Reason why? Nothing. I gave them my state ID and no response. Yeah. Yeah, I would never give Facebook my state ID. Nope. All right, let's go ahead and jump on into the second section of the day, and this is going to be our business section. Find my corporatocracy banner. Welcome back to the weekly news roundup. This is the business edition. These are recorded live Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So today, our affiliate mark, we are highlighting A2 hosting. So if you are in need of a website and you need hosting, use my affiliate link here, tlm.li/A2H. That'll get helps out the channel here. They send a small commission over when you purchase a plan. You can get shared hosting all the way up to VPS hosting. I run all my clients on my A2 account. I even run my Nextcloud instances, and most of my infrastructure is running on A2. So with that being said, let's go ahead and jump on over to the business news. All right, it's time to regulate tech platforms with laws, not fines. I kind of agree. There's several issues in this. So of course the article is talking about all of the regulation on the tech companies. Retrospect, perhaps 2 weeks ago on vacation. Let's see. Each time I check the news, there's some startling new collusion between Facebook and democracy. There was that $5 billion settlement with the Federal Trade Commission. There was that $100 million settlement with Securities and Exchange Commission. There's an announcement the FTC would open an antitrust investigation against the company. And there's an announcement that the Department of Justice would open up antitrust probe against Facebook, Google, and other large tech platforms. That's what happened on Wednesday. Okay, to be fair, the DOJ thing happened late the day before. See, here's the problem. One of the problems is, and this is an argument always thrown out. An argument always thrown out says, well, it's a private company. As soon as it becomes this thing that tracks everybody and has this much influence and has this ability, it has to immediately become a public platform. Whether or not public funds it, it has to have a public platform, it has to have direct government oversight, and it has to be completely binding to the Constitution if it's run in the United States. Okay, so this is the type of stuff we're looking at. And one of the challenges is these guys are getting this bill. Now, I kind of threw out the story because I thought it was not quite as relevant, but there's a few different privacy companies that are saying this $5 billion fine is not enough, because it's a fine that covers just a tiny, minuscule piece of their profits and doesn't do anything to help the company actually do better on privacy. Not at all. And so what we need to do is we need to set some actual real laws. And I'm not a big fan of government regulation by any stretch, but there's times that these companies are posing a real potential threat to democracy, and we have to stop and say, all right, you're such a big platform, you have to have a complete direct government oversight, which means, I'm sorry, your corporate board that cares only about money is no longer in charge. You got to have a government committee. And yes, that's terrifying. And no, I don't like saying that. But that's what has to happen, because these platforms are too big and have too much potential to damage society. Very interesting, and I don't take that view on a lot of things, but this is a force that needs reckoned with. And so this is kind of raising some of these questions. So Facebook got a different understanding of its own errors. Tech giant initially believed most of it should be paying in the hundreds of millions of dollars. The company felt it should prevail in court and battle FTC. In the end, Facebook still offered to pay more than it believed was required in a bid to assuage regulators and win other concerns. Okay, yeah, whatever. Sure, we're going to go out. We're going to do something immoral or unethical or possibly illegal. We're going to come out, pay a little bit of fine, and that fine is just a minuscule amount of money that we actually had. So that's one of the things. These companies do need regulated. We need to start seeing a little bit of regulation on some of these tech companies. All right. Next. This one's neat. So this is in response to the, if you remember the Google antitrust, where they're saying that you have too much market on the Android phone, whatever else. So in the EU, now Google phones are going to roll out with the option of your search engine. Surprise, 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 Google was always going to be in that list, but there's going to be 4 options to choose from, and the other 3 comes from the highest bidders on a silent auction. So all these different search engines are going to be throwing a bunch of money at Google. The top 3 that they accept will be the search engine choices of the week. And then the user selects one, and then that search engine will become the default. Now, can you add different search engines? I hope so, because I didn't really care for the screenshots that I saw here. Where are they at? Oh man, where are the screenshots? Anyway, it's like, it's going to give you, maybe it's this image, it's not loading. The idea is when you load it up and you're first setting up the Android device, it's going to give you an option of 4 things. Which would you like to be your default search? So whichever one of those you click is going to become the default search for everything on the phone. It's going to default to the web browsers. It's going to default to the search bars on the phone, all that kind of stuff. And so that's what we're going to see looking at the Google devices in response to the antitrust. So that's what Google's doing in response to that. That's kind of interesting. As long as you can deviate from the 4 options they give you, it's good though. The good thing is that, hey, some people don't even know there's search engines other than Google. I think this is good to raise people's questions. What other search engines are there? They can start looking and find and integrate some of these other ones. All right. All right. So here, this was neat. This is the new SMART Act. Now, these politicians, there's already a SMART Act. There's a SMART Act that deals with medicine stuff. All right. But with the SMART Act that deals with medical stuff, this is completely different. This is a SMART Act dealing with social media. So Senator Josh Hawley wants to introduce the Social Media Addiction Reduction Technology Act. This is the downside of getting the government involved in social media. But hey, if the government kills social media, we've really lost nothing. I mean, really, people. All right, so the idea is there's a few things. Number 1, this is going to prevent a social media site from having an infinite scroll. Which, by the way, you guys ever see a hilariously stupid site where they had their footer in the usual place and then decided, ex post facto, let's install an infinite scroll? That sounds like a great idea. And you need to hit the privacy policy in the footer and you can never get there. So some of the good ones, you put the privacy policy on the sidebar so you can actually reach it. All right. But anyway, you use this, and the first thing it's going to do is it's going to prevent sites from having an infinite auto load when you scroll down, an infinite auto scroll. I support this idea. I find an infinite auto scroll is the stupidest thing to ever come to websites. Dude, give me a button to click next. Really. Give me a button to click next. Now, the thing that I completely disagree with they want to do is they want to limit your amount of time. So the example they gave was like Twitter. You can only use your Twitter account for, quote, 30 minutes a day. That's going to kick you off. Now, what's going to happen is you can go into the social media platform and you can tell it, no, I want to turn this off and allow me to waste all of my time on social media. That's okay, but every single month it resets. So every single month you're going to have to go into the social media platform, into your backend settings, and retoggle that thing. Yeah, there's going to be applications to get around that crap showing up really fast. But nevertheless, that's a SMART Act. Looks neat in application, completely dumb in execution. Oh boy, 3 pharmaceutical companies agree to pay California $70 million for delaying drugs. So this is one of these problems with the pharmaceutical companies is they have all sorts of weird tips and tricks to prevent generic drugs from coming over. So the pharmaceutical company creates a drug, they patent the drug, and it gives them 7 years on the market to recoup their losses of the research. But there's all sorts of little tips and tricks that they can do. Everything from relabeling the drug, slightly tweaking the drug, repatenting the drug, or buying off politicians, or some other nebulous thing that will allow them to move on. So the most famous drug in this is your statins. Statins are absolutely toxic. There is almost zero reason anybody should ever be on a statin. In fact, the more you lower your cholesterol, the more you hurt your body biologically. And the research that went into the statins, every bit of it is confounded with conflicting interests. And the research is out that it doesn't actually do anything good at all. All right. But the reason it's still the number one selling drug is because they also had a panel of doctors whom all had a financial interest in it becoming a success, all set the guidelines for cholesterol to be under the actual average, which means every person, as they live their life, is at some point in time going to cross the threshold that your doctor says, let's put you on statins, your cholesterol is a little high. And in reality, there's no such thing as high cholesterol from your body's standpoints. All right, now, this is hilarious. All right, this is hilarious. So the only reason statins are still being heavily prescribed is because they went back in and kept on getting their extensions renewed. When that collapses, the experts in the field are saying, yeah, statins will stop being prescribed. Because there's not going to be any money in it anymore. All right, but anyway, 3 pharmaceutical companies all conspired in California to prevent the manufacturing of some generic drugs. So Teva is one of them. Teva is paying $69 million of the $70 million fine. The other 2 pharmaceutical companies, less than $1 million each. Good deal for them, I guess. But it's definitely an interesting take on how these drug companies work, things like that. So definitely have a look at this. Of course, this was specific to California. If this were federal, it would have been bigger, but, you know, California got it. All right, is everybody waiting for their drone deliveries? Oh, wait, no? You don't want your kids to get killed by drones? Yeah, fortunately no children were harmed, but for the second time this year, a drone in Switzerland crashes. And this drone, the first drone that crashed, it actually deployed its safety parachutes and landed very gently in the woods. And, you know, if a drone falls in the woods, is anybody there to see it, you know? This one, though, the parachute failed to open and it suicide bombed into the ground only 150 feet from a bunch of kindergartners. So kindergartners out there playing on the playground. Yay! Meteor comes out of the sky in the form of one of these delivery drones weighing in at 12 kilograms. That's 26 pounds. Imagine 26 pounds landing on your child. That's called instant death. I don't want to drop 26 pounds from 6 inches on my toe, let alone falling from the air. This thing crash landed without its safety parachute 150 feet from a bunch of kindergartners. Switzerland's like, no more delivery drones, man. We're done. We're done. And these are the things that they want to use these to transplant, you know, human organs across town. Imagine that. You're walking down the road with your little latte. Delivery drone crashes on your head, opening up its payload of human organs on your head. I don't know. This Frappuccino must be made with heart. That's kind of crazy. That's kind of crazy. But, you know. And on to our final business story for the day. The FCC is they're just doing everything that they can. FCC just really wants to completely screw over the entire country. Now they're ordering cities and towns to stop regulating cable broadband. Wait. The chief government regulator of broadband is telling cities and towns, stop regulating broadband. Hey, that's our job. Would you regulate them then? What regulation? They can self-regulate. Basically, the idea here is that your individual municipalities can charge fees to your ISPs for a variety of things. You know, hey, living, existing. How about the fact where the city where I started my business in, we had business licenses. So I would have to pay a business license. It didn't matter what industry you're in. So Asia Pi is basically now telling cities, yeah, you can't have business licenses anymore. Just if you're ISPs. Yeah, this is just crazy, people. This is just crazy. So, yes, Asia Shut Your Pie Hole is at it again, just completely destroying the rest. Like, by the time this moron gets out of office, he is going to completely have destroyed the entire internet in America. And we're already on threads right now. We are hanging by a thread with our telecom here in America. And this guy is just pushing it through. Can we just get this moron out of office yet? I mean, really? Let me know what you think about all these in the comments down below. Alrighty, thank you for that super chat, Jeff. Thanks for publishing the ebook publishing video earlier this week. Hey, no problem at all. And Jeff, if that is a topic that interests you, I am probably only about a week or so from beginning recording the footage for the new channel that is going to be specifically about writing. So keep an eye out for that. I'll have announcements all over when that's up. All right, being Scottish American, I know for years that Nessie was the official animal of Scotland. Yeah, you know. Someone really needs a doorbell cam. Maybe they should try CCTV. There you go. Yep. QT or GTK? You know, GTK is a lot smoother on how it looks, but I think that QT has, I think, in many ways, better implementation. But I don't know enough under the hood to give you a logical answer either way. I don't really care. I look at the merit of the program over the framework it's built in. Sorry about that Pope rap link. Not a big fan of Vatican person or a big fan of the Roman Catholics. They have proven themselves wrong in the last 2 millennia. So on one SSD, EOS at the moment, Windows 8.1 on the other machine. All right. Doing a Gentoo stream after this. All right. May switch back to Peppermint soon. Yeah, Peppermint's awesome. I love Peppermint. Funds need to be set according to their gross annual income. That's why I think the EU's doing it right. Hey, a percentage of your income. But I think that at times they're, I mean, the problem is we have a legal structure that doesn't make a lot of sense because, and I use this example a lot, and sorry guys, but if you borrow the legal system from the Bible, then it seems to make a lot of sense. So here's the example. I live in this neighborhood and we got a lot of kids. If these kids are running around and they're playing some baseball and they hit a baseball and they hit my car and break my window, we would expect the kid to come in and pay for the window. No problem. Okay. And in most cases, you know, the kid wouldn't, but the parent would come over and they'd be like, oh, I'm really sorry. And what's it going to cost? And let us know. And, you know, I'll get a reasonable price and we'll get the window done and he'll pay for the window. No big deal. Okay, but if the kid takes his baseball bat and intentionally walks up to my car and just starts pounding on the thing, according to the Bible, the intentional act says he needs to pay now 3 times the damage. We have our legal system is set only to look at what is the financial cost. It doesn't look at the intention. If one thing is an accidental, if a company accidentally, it's very possible for a company to accidentally break a law and damage somebody. It's possible for a company to accidentally financially or otherwise damage somebody. The company, in this case, looking and figuring the intention, going, yes, we realize that, and we need to pay back the amount that's due. All right? But if a company specifically and intentionally violates rules and laws, they need to be held to such a high standard it hurts them. It's not a matter of did they do wrong, it's a matter of the intention. So in the case of this kid, if he comes over and he's intentionally just bashing on cars, we'd expect him to pay more than if he was playing, you know, he was playing with his friends and an accident had occurred. We can make that distinction between an intentional and an accidental damage. The problem is a lot of companies have recognized that if they actually break the law intentionally and cause actual damage to people, first, there's a very small chance they're going to get caught. But even if they are caught, it'll be such a small fee, you can simply write it off as a cost of doing business. That's the type of thing we have to find and execute very, very painful things against. Like, hey, you did that, you're paying back everybody you've defrauded 3 times, and we're pulling your ability to do business for a year. Think about it a little bit. And that's the type of thing that you do that to 1 or 2 companies, everybody else is going to get in line. This is why it's important to have sound judgments in this case. Pizza. How's it going there, Pizza? Linux Mint 2 was released today. Sweet! We might have to be looking at that. Maybe we'll look at that tomorrow. Alright. This is straight guy. Alright, there you go. Okay. Hello, Keegan. Greetings. I think Toss should be on at this point. I think he was going live at 9:30, right? Social media that I don't like or use at risk? Oh no, that's right, man. That's right. No sick happened. I mean, lesbian, don't care if you're straight or not. Yep. All right. Okay, if you could use Twitter 30 minutes a day, no one will ever use it. Yep. How does the law affect open source social networks? Well, that's a good question. I don't think they know they exist because they're incompetent. Thank you again for that super chat, Jeff. Newbie Linux user and heard Gentoo is a yes, one of those to deal with. Yes, indeed. It's just that it's simply because Gentoo, everything needs to be compiled from scratch and built from scratch. So it's very good when you have it working, right, Kitty? He uses Puppy Linux, though. Kitty uses Puppy Linux. Drone falls in the woods. I bet Bigfoot was surprised. Yep. The doctor's anxious to revise his practice based on what the internet has to say about statins and cholesterol. Yeah. What do you mean by what the internet has to say about statins and cholesterols? Yeah, you do know I have a doctorate in biomedical research, right? I've looked at the research articles. The research is not there. I mean, really. I think the guy that did some of the best meta-analysis is... It's either David Diamond or Mark Diamond, I think. I forget his name now off the top. He is a... I think he's a neuropsychiatrist. I forget. He was primarily a brain researcher, but decided that he wanted to do the meta-analysis on the statins and stuff. It was very fascinating work. Second Asia Pi gets out of office. Everything the FCC has been done the last 2 years will be reversed. Yes, possibly. Do you have any videos dealing with the Linux, with the server side of Linux? Looking to download a server. Want to do my homework. I honestly... Not a lot of them, I don't think. Like I generally use Ubuntu server if I can, or Debian server if I'm building servers out from scratch. Of course, if I'm just buying a server just that's already kind of pre-built, I go CentOS if I can. Writing channel, does it have writing techniques? Yes. It's the new channel is going to... We're going to do a little bit less of techniques of actual writing. We're going to do some of that. But there's a lot of really good channels that do that. What I'm doing is I'm filling a niche of how to actually do formatting, the technical aspects of things. But yeah, we're going to have things like how to get books into print, how to get books onto the different distribution networks, all these different types of things we're going to look at. So, let's see. Think of a Google Play Pass, $5 a month. You get unlimited. I don't think it's worth it, but if you are using the various services and things and you do find it worth it, then it's worth it. Everyone's young. The other side of me said hop the fence, have no issue. When I say no, they get the indigent. Interesting. Toss is doing a live stream with DistroTube. Yes. Hook her up with Hannah Montana Linux. All right. I got a couple more articles, and then we will wrap it up shortly after that. And I think Toss is on. So, all right. Of course, where's security? We have to talk about the Capital One breach. You guys know Capital One was breached this week, right? 100 million individuals. Now, this one here wasn't a super bad one because it's like 100 million. But the reality is this stuff never got anywhere beyond the person who did this was a first-time criminal, lifetime moron. Worked for AWS, where AWS was the one hosting Capital One servers. Worked for AWS, so had access to it, got in there, stole the data. It was still encrypted and was literally talking online about where to put this data because she doesn't want to get caught with it. Like I said, first-time criminal, lifetime moron. So she was caught, data was seized and destroyed before it actually made it out there, but still somebody did make out with 100, I think it was 109, 106 million records from Capital One that were stored on their AWS server. Let's see, the theft occurred somewhere between March 12th and July 17th. She used to work at AWS. Yeah, basically stole the data and was looking for places on the internet to put it, and yeah, that didn't go well. And a Google researcher discloses several vulnerabilities in iOS. This article it didn't make a lot of sense. They're saying several of these aren't patched yet, but then they're like, but all of these are patched. So I don't know if these are patched or not patched, but Google keeps on finding holes in Apple's security, telling Apple about it. Apple's not really doing anything about it. So think about that next time everyone's really telling you all about Apple's better on privacy and security. Maybe. This was a particularly bad hack because the phone could be compromised by passive means. In other words, all you had to do is text the malicious code to somebody. They did not have to open the text, or they didn't have to actually click anything in there. It happened just by sending the text. Very much like that old one, you just sent a certain emoji or something and it would crash the phone into a boot loop or something. Kind of crazy. So that's our security for the day. Let's see. Apple's going to steal the idea of Google Play Pass, but it'll be $200 a month instead of $5. All right, do you hear there are LibreOffice macro viruses? Yeah, because a macro is just code. Now, if they're available from a macro repository, that's not good. But yeah, I mean, it's the same way. Like, it's the same way the macros is how malware was pushed into. If you remember when Windows was doing this S mode, right? Which was supposed to be the super security mode. Nothing can be installed, so it's ultra secure. In just a couple of hours, they were able to get malware on the thing through a Microsoft Office macro. So that's always a concern. Macros are always a concern, so you got to be careful of those. But I'd be interested to see what type of information that was. All right, guys, we're going to go ahead and feed this kitty cat. If somebody can find a link for me for Toss and DistroTube's stream, go ahead and post that link if you can, and we will feed the kitty, and we will get out of here so we can go watch Toss and DistroTube. Right, kitty? Right, kitty? You want to go watch Toss or DistroTube, or you just want to eat kitty treats and go? What do you think, huh? What do you think, buddy? What do you think? Go on. Oh, give us the paw. Go on, give us the paw. Give us the paw. Give us the paw. Go on. Oh boy. Let's go with one more, buddy. One more. Right here. Oh, Are the finger licking good? They are finger licking good. They are finger licking good. Yes, yes. They're finger licking good. Can auto run when you open certain documents. Yep. Rant. What do you mean? Million persons info leaked. It's still too many. Well, okay. What I mean is that the data was never actually made its way to the black market. The breach was basically stopped because the person was a moron. Let's see here about the next version of macOS and iOS will use other people's devices to send data of a lost device back to the cloud. That's frightening. All right, there is our link. So Pizza's got our link. So we're going to jump on over and watch DT and Toss over on Toss's channel. So definitely go ahead and take a look at that. We will do a live stream tomorrow. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to look at. We might be looking at the new Linux Mint if that was released. So thanks for coming along, guys, and I hope that you enjoy switching to Linux.